All right, welcome back. Last video you saw me, we were talking about the length of daylight. We analyzed Houston first, and we took the Houston data that we were given. We used our calculator to put it in and get a graph and our equation as well. And then you guys are able to watch another video where a nice lady walked you through how you can create a new blank graph, and then you can insert a new table, and then you can type in, hopefully you went through and practiced with our Houston data, you can type that in and then have it create your equation for you. You'll notice A, 113 and D, 727 match our A, 113 and our D, 727 that we put in. The only thing that's a little different is that she split up and factored out this B. We can show you how to do that in a separate video if you want. But I would accept either this equation or the equation the nice lady gave you on the video here as well, just plugging that A, B, and C, and D in there. Today we're going to look at the maximum and the minimum, which you can't see because this is being hidden down here, and the minimum down here. We're going to do that on the calculator. So we're going to go over to our calculator screen. This is on my page 54, number 6 there. So in order to find our maximum and our minimum, so first we're going to focus on the maximum. So the maximum is going to be the highest Y value point. It's going to be somewhere up there. This is Houston, so it looks to be in the middle of the year, so that's probably in the summer somewhere. In order to find the max, we're going to hit second trace. So I'm going to write that down as we go along. So we're going to hit second trace. And we are going to look at number 4 for maximum. It brings us back to the graph, and the first question it says down here is left bound. So we're going to want to scroll to the left of where we think our maximum is. I like to be just on the down slope there. We're going to hit enter, and you should see this little arrow pointing to the right. We're kind of telling the calculator, hey, look in between these two boundaries. So that first left boundary is on the left side of the max, this right boundary is on the right side of the max. I like to be somewhere on the down slope there. And the cool thing about my color calculator, and maybe yours does as well, I'm trying to let you see here, is that we have these two vertical lines where the arrows are. So our max should be in between those two. And where it says guess, we're just going to hit enter. We'll just hit enter, and it'll find the maximum for us there. So that maximum for us is 172, 840, and since it's 0.6, I'm going to round that to 841. So what does that mean? So that X value, remember, was day number. The Y value was the length of the day, of the daylight in minutes. So this says on the 172nd day, there is 841 minutes of daylight. Now, what does that mean? 102nd day, I don't really know exactly when that is throughout the year. 841 minutes of daylight, that doesn't really mean much to me. So we can go to any of the tables in here. Here's our day numbers on the next page for Philadelphia. We're just focusing on the day number here. I can see that day 172 is somewhere in between 152 and 182. So I know it's after June 1st, but before July 1st. So day 172 is in June, and 172 is 20 days after day 152. So I'll take the June 1st plus 20 days, and that will give me to June 21st. So day 172 ends up being June 21st. So we'll say June 21st. And 841 minutes, if I figure out like what the closest number is to an hour there. So let's say like 840 divided by 60, that gives us 14 hours. So 14 hours is 840 minutes. So I know that there will be 14 hours and 1 minute of daylight. This day is the longest day of the year. So it's got the longest amount of daylight, and it is called the summer solstice. The longest day is the summer solstice. So really quickly, again, how to find this on your graph. When you have all the data in there, we have the equation in there. We hit second trace, just like I've written down here. Number 4, we want to go to the left and hit enter. So I like saying left, enter. And then we scroll to the right. And make sure we're just going down to the right there. Hit enter twice. So I'll have 2 little circles here. We're hitting enter twice. And that tells me a maximum. We're going to do the same thing for the minimum. The minimum value is going to be over here near the end of the year. So that looks like it should be in December sometime. So I'm going to go to second trace again. And I'm going to go down to number 3 for minimum. And I'm going to look somewhere over here. So right now my cursor is up here. It already is to the left of the minimum. So I hit enter. And I'm going to scroll all the way as far as I can. So you can see the day number here is at 368.4. I can't go any further. That should be 368. There's less days in a year than 368. So that's like June or January 3rd or something like that. So that's to the right, and I'll hit enter twice, and it'll give you my minimum of about 359,614. So I'm gonna write all that down. So I went to second trace. Number 3 is minimum. I went and made sure I was to the left, and I hit enter, and to the right, and I hit enter twice. And then that gave me this value of 359,614. So what that means is that on the 359th day, the length of daylight is 614 minutes. 359, that's somewhere in December because it's close to the end of the year. So I know December 1st is 335. 359 seems to be 24 days later. So 24 days after December 1st is going to be something that you should recognize, the 25th. 614 minutes. I know that 10 hours will be 600 minutes. And I have the 14 extra minutes there. So on December 25th, there will be 10 hours and 14 minutes of daylight. That is not a lot of time. So remember, in the summer, days are longer. The sun's out for more time. The winter, days are shorter. Sun's out for less time. We have more darkness. So there's a special name for the shortest day of the year, and that is called the winter solstice. Hopefully, if you have a calculator, you can practice along with us here. You can even move on to Philadelphia and get all that as well. I'm not going to show you a video how to find the equation or max or min of Philadelphia, because we're going to kind of just have them and then compare the two together. Let me know if you have any questions.